Okay, now we will see how to solve the quadratic equation using completing the square method. Now, completing the square method deals with the identity of a plus b the whole squared or a minus b the whole squared. We very well know what is x plus 2 the whole square. It is x squared plus 2ab, that will give you 4x plus b squared, that is 4. Now just look at these three terms. This 4 was 2 squared, and this 2, if we have to relate with the coefficient of x, then it is half of 4, that gives 2. In the same way, if we see the second example, x squared minus 10x plus 25, and then 25 means it is 5 squared, which is again half of the coefficient of x. One more example, if we see this fractional part, x plus 1 upon 2 the whole squared, it gives x squared plus, if we solve 2ab, 2 into x into 1 upon 2 plus b squared, that is 1 upon 2 the whole squared. So if we look at this number, the coefficient here will be x squared plus x plus, I'll keep 1 upon 2 the whole squared as it is. So this last number b squared is basically the half of the coefficient of x, that is 1 in this case. So this, what does all these three examples shows? That whatever b squared we have, b squared is half of the coefficient of x and then square of that. Half of the coefficient of x, that is half of 10, is 5 and 5 squared. Half of 1 and 1 squared. Half of 4 and 2 squared. So you have to keep in mind, wherever we want to make a complete square, we have to take half of coefficient of x and then make a square of it. Now this technique we will use in solving the quadratic equation by the method of completing the square. So here we have x squared plus 6x minus 7. So first of all, we take the constant term on the other side, because we will use these two terms and make a perfect square out of that. So we have x squared plus 6x equals to 7. Now we have x squared and the term with x. We want b squared. So b squared we get as half of coefficient of x, which is half of 6, that is 3, and square of it. So that is 9. So what we do, we add 9 to both the sides of this equation. We add 9 to both the sides of the equation, so that the left hand side is a perfect square. We have x squared, then we have b squared, that is 3 squared, and the middle term is in the form of 2ab, 2 into x into 3. So on the left hand side we have x plus 3 the whole squared equals to 16. So if we have x plus 3 the whole square equals to 16, so now we can easily take a square root on both the sides. So x plus 3 is equal to, now remember, square roots, there are always two numbers whose square is the same number. For example, square of negative 2 is same as square of 2, that is 4. So whenever we take a square root, always remember to take plus or minus. And another way also, we have a quadratic equation. So we are supposed to get maximum 2 solutions. So if we take just 4, we will always end up with one solution. So just keep in mind, wherever you take a square root, you have to take plus or minus. So now we have x plus 3 equals to 4 or x plus 3 equals to negative 4. So this gives us our two results, x equals to 1 or x equals to negative 7. We'll see one more example for this method, x squared plus 9x plus 18. Always transpose the constant term on the other side. So we have x squared plus 9x equals to 18. And then use this. Half of the coefficient of x, that is 9 by 2, and square of it, so that is 81 by 4. Now we just cannot add only 81 by 4 to left hand side or to right hand side. We have to add to both the sides to keep this equation balanced. So we add 81 by 4 to both the sides, and then left hand side becomes a perfect square of x plus 9 by 2 the whole squared, and on right hand side by taking LCM we get 72 plus 81 by 4, that is 153 by 4. Now it is possible that you may not always get a perfect square number like 16. You may end up with a number like 153 by 4. That's fine, not a worry. So now taking square root on both the sides, we have x plus 9 by 2 equals to plus or minus square root of 153 upon 2. So if we take one time plus and other time minus, we have our two solutions as x plus 9 by 2 equals to positive square root of 153 by 2 or x plus 9 by 2 equals to negative square root of 153 by 2. And then in the last step, taking 9 by 2 on the other side, we have x equals to square root of 153 minus 9 whole upon 2 as one of the solution, or x equals to negative under root of 153 minus 9 upon 2 as the other solution. So I hope this makes the sense. To make a complete square, we need to add a number which is the square of half of the coefficient of x. We see a few more examples where we have a coefficient of x squared. In these two examples, method remains same except for the first step. First step, you have to make this coefficient 1. And that can be done by dividing the entire equation over here by 2. And at the same time, if I take minus 12 on the other side, we have x squared plus 5 by 2x equals 6. So the first step becomes division of the entire equation by the coefficient of x squared. So we have x squared now. We have a coefficient of x. So to get the last term b squared, we will apply these two steps. Half of 5 by 2. Half of 5 by 2 is 5 by 4. And the square of 5 by 4, or instead of that, we can write 5 by 4 the whole square. And just remember to keep the equation balanced, add 5 by 4 the whole square on both the sides. So we have left hand side x plus 5 by 4 the whole squared equals to, if we simplify the right hand side, it is 6 plus 25 by 16. So that is 96 plus 25 by 16. And that will give you 121 by 16. So we have right hand side 121 upon 16. Now taking the square root will give x plus 5 by 4 equals to plus or minus 121 upon, oops, you have to take the square root on both the sides, it's 11 by 4. So now take one time positive 11 by 4, another time negative 11 by 4. So we have x plus 5 by 4 as positive 11 by 4 or x plus 5 by 4 equals to negative 11 upon 4. Now if you transpose the 5 by 4 or subtract 5 by 4 from both the sides, we have x equals to 6 by 4, that is 3 by 2 as one solution, or x equals to negative 16 by 4, that is negative 4 as the other solution. We'll see one more question. Again we have a coefficient of x squared as 3. So first we divide the entire equation by 3. We have x squared plus 14 upon 3x, and we take 8 on the other side, it is 8 upon 3. Now to make a perfect square on the left hand side, we take the half of the coefficient of x. So 14 upon 3, half of 14 upon 3, that is 7 upon 3. So we take 7 upon 3 the whole squared on both the sides. So 7 upon 3 whole squared on one side, and on the other side if I directly write 49 by 9 to make the calculation easier. So the left side is x plus 7 upon 3 the whole squared. And what about the right side? Taking the LCM would be 9, and it will be 373 by 9. So it is 73 by 9. Now taking the square root, x plus 7 by 3 is plus or minus square root of 73 upon 3. Again remember, you will not always get a perfect square number like this. You may get a number which is not a perfect square, like root 73, root 153, but that's fine. The process remains same. So now take one time positive root 73 by 3, and one time you take negative root 73 by 3. So we get x equals to positive 73 upon 3 minus 7 upon 3, or negative 73, x equals negative 73 minus 7 upon 3. So this gives us the two solutions of the given quadratic equation using the method of completing the square.